Okay, perfect. All right, well, come and lie yourself down on your back. We'll start in Shavasana for our practice this evening. So just make sure you've got your legs out a little bit wider than hip distance, and just take your arms out a little bit wider than your body as well. So you have plenty of space kind of running up the edges of your body, loads of space around the shoulders, and maybe even kind of wriggle your shoulders down into your back pocket so you kind of lengthen out through the back of the neck. We'll just take a couple of minutes just to sort of settle our breathing, but also just to let our body go. Let our mind go, let our body go. And just find that little bit of space where we are not thinking about what we need to be doing later. We're not mulling over what we've done through the day. We're just allowing ourselves to be present, to be here, to be now. Maybe even just tuning into the noises around us, maybe smells, maybe even just the temperature of the air on your skin. Maybe there's a little bit of a breeze coming through the window. Just allowing yourself just to acknowledge your surroundings, accepting, just being conscious of where you are. That feeling of sinking, giving into the floor, letting the heels, the backs of the calves, the backs of the thighs, your hips, your shoulders, the arms, the wrists, the hands. Just letting yourself sink. Yeah, just enjoying that feeling of feeling supported, but also letting go. One more big inhale. And as you take an exhale, take a really heavy sigh breath, big long sigh as you exhale, breathing out. Letting that breath go. Again, fill the lungs, big inhale. And again, big heavy exhale. And on the next breath in, we're going to bring the arms up and overhead. So just take a really long stretch. Maybe point the toes away, so you're just kind of pulling both ends of the body away from each other. And then take your right leg over to the corner of your mat, and then cross the left leg over the top. And then do the same with the arms. So take the right hand over towards the corner, and then maybe take a hold of the wrist with that left arm. So you're sort of bending the body, a kind of banana shape, over towards the right side. Just really enjoying that lovely stretch all the way through the left side of the body. Now we just spend a couple of moments here. Again, just allowing that breath to flow nice and slowly, no restrictions. And then coming slowly back through center, taking it over to the other side, and then taking that left foot over to the left corner, right foot hooks over the top of that left foot, and again, left hand just sort of stretches up towards that left corner, and maybe you can take off all of the wrists with the right hand there, so the whole side of the right side of the body a little bit longer. And maybe one side feels slightly different. Perhaps you hold more restrictions on one side, maybe you're tighter on one hip, or IT band might be a little bit more kind of niggly. Again, we never kind of have a completely symmetrical body. Again, ease it back through center and just draw the knees in. Give yourself a little squeeze. Just bring the knees and the nose together. Just giving yourself that little hug. We're just going to rock. We're going to rock ourselves forward and backwards, just massaging through the spine. And then as you rock forward, come all the way over your shins and just push back into a child's pose. So bring the knees back to the halfway down your mat, heels together. Let the hips come back down towards the heels, just extending the hands and pressing the fingertips in towards the floor as you come into that child's pose. Just enjoying that nice release underneath the shoulder blade. Lovely, come forward. Come onto all fours. So just roll through a cat pose. So dropping the belly, opening up into cow first, and then drawing everything up into cat. So tucking the chin, tucking the tail, drawing the belly in, so kind of vacuuming that belly up towards the spine. And then again, rocking forward, rolling through the spine, opening up those collarbones as you draw forward. And then coming all the way up into that cat pose. Lovely. Let's do that one more time. Rock forward, rolling through the spine, opening the collars. And then as you come up into cat, we're going to take our first downward facing dog. So just tucking the toes under, lift the hips up towards the sky. Keep the knees really soft. Let the heels kind of start to sink down towards the floor, just really spreading those fingers out wide. Kind of feeling that nice little bit of contraction through the shoulder blades, giving you that really solid spine. And again, that belly button is drawn in, lifting that tailbone back. And start to ease the heels down. So maybe you're pressing one foot at a time, maybe you're just sort of walking through the backs of the hamstrings. Lovely. And what we're going to do is we're going to ripple forward. We're going to come into a high plank position. And then from here, just tuck your feet over so you're resting on the fronts of the feet. And then start to draw the collarbones forward. So you're coming into that upward facing dog position. If that feels too much, just bring your knees to the floor. Okay. From here, start to lift those hips all the way up. And come back into your downward facing dog position. So tucking those toes over. Bringing the heels back down, keeping the knees soft. And again, just moving back into that nice kind of pedaling motion, easing out through the back of the legs. Lovely. Let's do that one more time. So come forward, come into that high plank. Again, drawing the belly in, really strong through the core, engaging those thighs. And then again, just gently turning those feet over. Okay, and then lifting up through those collars, just letting the hips drop. Nice, ease into that back bend. Brilliant. Again, lift up into your downward facing dog. Pull all the way back. Lovely. Come to the knees. Pull up into a cat pose. Again, rolling the spine, rounding it up as you curl up. And then come into your child's pose, bring the heels together. And just sink back for a moment, just sink into those heels. Take a full round of breath. Perfect, big long breath in. Long sigh, big exhale. Now we just do that one more time, so come forward. Back onto all fours. Brilliant, roll through your cow pose. Drop. Bring those collarbones forward, and then pull everything up, coming into cat. Tucking the chin, tucking the tail, the shoulder blades apart. Brilliant. Do that one more time. Inhale, round forward, and exhale. Perfect. Tuck your toes, lift up into your down dog for me. Come all the way up, lifting those hips. Soften into the knees again, pressing the fingertips into the floor. Maybe keep that pedaling motion going if you need a bit more of a stretch through the back of the leg, or just let the heels start to sink down. And again, ripple forward, find high plank. Inhale. Lovely, roll those feet over. Again, just taking the pressure, squeezing through those thighs, lifting the collars, letting the hips drop as you come into that upward facing dog. And then pulling all the way back, downward facing dog. Now down again, take a full round of breath. Inhale. Slow breath out. Exhale. One more time like that, come forward. High plank, really engaging those arms, feeling those triceps and they're tucking around behind you. So you're getting that real contraction through the upper body. Roll over the feet, Again, lift the collars. Keep those thighs engaged. Let the hips drop. Squeezing through your bottom very gently to protect that lower back. And again, lift the tail. Pull back down and facing dog. Brilliant. Let the knees come down. Bring the heels together. Come into your child's pose. And just pause for a moment. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. Okay. Fabulous. So we're going to bring ourselves up to the top of our mat. So from your child's pose, just tuck your toes under and just slowly start to walk yourself up towards the top of the mat. Bring the big toes together. Just let the weight of the head kind of drag you forward. Just feel that nice big sort of forward fold, loads of stretch flowing on through the back of the body here. And then start to roll up. Stack the vertebrae, one on top of the other. Find your way towards the sky. Just unravel, lift the chin, look up towards the thumbs. And then as you exhale, bring the hands round behind you and just interlace those hands. Press the knuckles down towards the floor. Open the collarbones up. From here, bend the knees. Just ripple forward. Let the belly come down. Let the knuckles lift. Lovely. And then as those hands come down, just release the hands to the floor. Look forward. Hands to shins. Breathe in. Exhale. Take the right leg all the way back. Step it to the back of your mat. Take a nice long lunge. And just let the knee come down. Good. Open up through the hips. Soften through that hip flexor. You can keep the back toe tucked under if you need to. Just lifting that heart, lifting those ribs. From here, let the hands come down and just straighten out the front leg. So we're going to take a little runner's lunge, just gently lifting that toe up towards the sky. Pull back. Brilliant. Come forward. Inhale. Soft through the hips. Lift the heart. And again, pull back. Come into that runner's lunge. Bring the hands either side of the foot. Just lift the tail, lift the toe, lift the tail. Yeah, do that one more time. Breathe in. Soft up through the collars, through the hips, through the shoulders. And this time when we pull back, we're just going to pause here for a little bit longer. Okay, if you want to flatten the toes down, so you're kind of sitting back on the heel a bit more, and then you can. And from here, just see if you can bring your nose a little bit closer towards your knee as you fall. Just pause, try and take one full round of breath. Slow on the exhale. Lovely, come forward. Again, breathe in, lift the heart. We're going to step back into a high plank from here, okay? So hands come to the floor, tuck the back toe under, lift back into that plank. And let's take our upward facing dog. So rolling over the front of the feet, letting the hips drop. Squeeze through your thighs, squeeze through your bottom to protect your lower back as you lift those collars. And then come all the way back into downward facing dog. The tailbone comes up. Press back into the heels. Lovely. Inhale. And exhale. Wonderful. Walk your way back to the top of the mat. Little steps. Come all the way up. Perfect. Let yourself come into that nice gentle fold. Weight of the head is just drawing you forward. And again, unravel, roll all the way up. Come up to stand, find Tadasana. Continue to extend, looking overhead, look towards the thumbs. And again, as you exhale, bring the hands round behind you, interlace behind your tailbone, lift those collars, lift your heart up towards the sky. And again, soften the knees, let the belly come down, come into that forward fold position, knuckles lift. Perfect, as you let the arms come down, exhale. And as you start to inhale again, look forward, either fingertips to floor or hands to shins. Lovely, left leg this time goes back, big lunge. Step it to the back of the mat. Perfect, let the knee come down. Again, soften, open those hips, lift to the sky. Good, again, we're going to find that little runner's lunge, so hands either side of the foot. Slowly draw back, lift the toe, sink into the heels, sink into the hips. Feel those lovely hamstrings starting to soften. Use your breath as you come forward, inhale. And again, let the exhale control you as you come back. Lovely, let those hips move back. Brilliant, we'll do that one more time. And again, when we come back, we're going to just spend an extra breath there. So you can flatten the foot as you come back. So hands come to the side of the leg. Just flattening that foot behind you so you sit back onto the heel. And again, you can bring the nose down, come a little bit closer, a little bit deeper. Perfect, bring it forward. Let the breath guide you, come up. As you exhale, we're going to come back into high plank. So hands to the side of the foot. Lift that back knee, squeeze the thigh. Lovely, strong in that plank. Again, let's roll over the fronts of those feet, come into your upward facing dog. Relax the shoulders, squeeze through the glutes as you protect the back. And then lift that tailbone, come into downward facing dog. Well done. Take a couple of breaths. Just pause. If you prefer a child's pose here, just bring the knees to the floor. This is your chance to have a little breather. Otherwise, breathe with me. Take another inhale. A big slow breath out. Exhale. Fabulous. Come back to the top of the mat. Again, you can look forward this time. Maybe do a little jump there. You could bounce your way up to the top of the mat. Again, lift the heart as you look forward. And come into that nice forward fold. Okay. Yeah, let's unravel. Come back up. Brilliant. Inhale, lift the arms, look to the thumbs. Again, bring the arms around behind you, just interlace. Open up those collarbones. Lift the heart forward. And again, softening the knees. Fold up the belly. Come all the way back down. Wonderful. Again, let the hands drop. Look forward, lift up. The breath is bringing you up. Exhale, right leg. Step it back. Perfect. Now this time, keep that leg off, that knee lifted. And come up to a high lunge. So strong through that front leg. Knee is just above the ankle. Pressing back through that back heel so the thigh is engaged. Now we take a warrior two, so let the heels come down. Okay, just turn that foot. So your heel of your front foot, arch of your back foot lines up. And sink a little deeper into warrior. Okay, we're going to reverse our warrior. So we're going to take that right hand down towards the calf. And that left arm so it reaches overhead. Peaceful warrior or reverse warrior. And again, just enjoy that nice softness through the waist. And come back into warrior two, keeping those hips where they are. Come a little deeper if you can. Do that one more time, reverse. Lovely, feel that breath sort of open up, soft on the exhale. And then let's windmill forward. This time bring the hands either side of the foot, so you're back in that high lunge position. Okay, step back into your high plank. And again, let's roll over those toes. We're kind of doing our vinyasa slightly round the other way, aren't we? Lifting those collars and then pull back down the facing dog. You're missing out those chaturangas. I bet you're missing them. Lovely, take a full round of breath. Exhale, look forward, soften the knees, jump or step back to the top of the mat. Look forward as you breathe in. And exhale, fold. Breathe out. Unravel, roll up. Come all the way up. Lovely. We're going to do the same on the other side. So lifting those collars, lift the thumbs. Exhale, hands come round behind you. Open up those collarbones. Press the knuckles back. Wonderful. Soft at the hips. Fold it forward. Come all the way down. Lovely. Let the fingertips drop. Breathe in as you look forward. Take the left leg all the way back. Long on that lunge. Good. Again, we're going to really brace ourselves. We're coming up into that high lunge, so that knee is above the ankle. Wobbling everywhere tonight. Press that heel back. Go relax the shoulders. Fabulous. Find your warrior two. Heel to arch. Bend into that front knee. Don't be afraid to let the hips come a little bit lower. Look long, look beyond those fingertips, just over the tip of that middle finger. And again, reverse it, peaceful warrior. So left hand comes down the thigh, down towards the calf. You're just bending in through the waist. Nice and soft. And again, find your warrior two. Come forward, just hold, pause it there. Come a little deeper still. Let's do that one more time. So reverse. Open up the heart, open up through the waist. Fabulous. Now as we windmill forward, again, we're gonna kind of hug either side of that front foot. Okay, we're sort of giving it that little frame. Step back into your high plank. Okay, lovely. Once you've got that core engaged, roll it over those toes, come into your upward facing dog. Perfect. And then find your downward facing dog. Pull back. Perfect. Take a couple of breaths. We're just going to pause. We're going to come into our child's pose and just have a little breather to bring the knees to the floor, heels together. Just sink back for a moment. Maybe have a little drink of water if you need one. Maybe even just wrap the arms around by your side. Just give yourself that little bit of a rest. Just catching your breath. Nice and slow. So we're going to add on to our little standing flow there. So we're going to kind of continue to keep that movement going. We're going to add on a couple of little, couple more poses, more standing postures. So when you're ready to unravel, bring yourself back into your extended child's pose and join me back at the top of the mat. So whether it's a jump, whether it's a step, or maybe it's just a walk back up to the top. Bring those big toes together and let the head come forward. And again, just roll up and using that nice sort of drawing in of the belly, so it's kind of engaging, using your core to bring you up rather than your spine. Now this time, rather than bringing the hands back behind us, well actually we will bring them back behind us, but we're going to bring them back behind us and sink into a chair pose. And then from here, lift the arms. You're reaching your fingertips towards where the ceiling and the wall meet, that little corner, that little hinge, reaching up. You've got the muscles through your back engaged, that belly button is drawn back, and you're sinking deep into those hips. So you're really working deep through the glutes, through the thighs, through your core. Come down a little deeper if you can. And then from here, swan dive, come all the way down. Find that fold. Lovely. Look forward as you inhale. And as you exhale, take the right leg all the way back again. Extend. Good. Again, we're going to keep it really strong. So we're going to keep that knee just above the ankle. Engage that back thigh. Come up through that standing lunge, that high lunge. And find your warrior two again. So heel to arch. Bend into that front knee. Lovely and soft. You've got those hips that are nice and wide. They're nice and open. That shoulder is feeling really soft. Again, loads of space between your ears and your shoulders. And then reverse, find that peaceful warrior. Soft through the waist. Brilliant, breathing in. And breathe out. As you exhale, bring it back up. You're going to find Parshva, so forearm to thigh. And then take that right arm over, so long, all the way from your little finger to your little toe. And you can really rotate here. So if you feel those ribs are kind of looking down towards the floor more, just challenge you just to try and kind of open the chest up. So you're sort of almost looking up, turning those ribs up towards the ceiling. Lovely, take one more inhale. Exhale, start to bring it back up. Warrior two. Perfect. Now turn both palms together. Stretch up, release that leg. And then let's take a triangle. So wiggle your back foot in just a smidge. Maybe it's a couple of heel toes, just so it's a little bit closer. And then taking the arms out wide, just extend over that left arm, left toe. And then bring the hand down towards the shin or towards the ankle. And then looking up towards that top hand. So you're turning through those ribs. And again, if you're using a block, if you've got a block at home that's quite handy for your practice, you can put that block just onto the inside of the ankle, turn it either way round, and you can use that to help you get a little bit more rotation through that Trikonasana triangle pose. Let's take one more breath in. As you exhale, look down towards the big toe. Inhale, bring it all the way up. And just reverse for me. Take a little reverse. Wonderful. Now we're going to take a half moon. We're going to balance, okay? So we're going to bring ourselves just beyond that left toe. So we're going to take our weight onto the left foot. The hand is coming down towards the floor. That right hand can rest there on the hip. Once you've got your balance, okay, just start to sort of really root down through the heel, through the toes. And balance is everywhere. Start to squeeze through that standing leg. Feel that belly pull in. Lift through the pelvic floor. That Mula Bandha is engaged. And then maybe that top arm is extending towards the sky. Lovely. Hold it there. Just to take a couple of breaths. Fabulous. When you're ready to bring it down, just soften that standing leg. Come back. Take a reverse reverse warrior. Turn through that left side. Perfect. Windmill the hands forward. Bring them either side of the front foot, either side of that left foot. And then step it back. Find your high plank. Well done. Lovely. Roll over those feet. Find up the facing dog. Release those hips. Squeeze that lower back. And then find your downward facing dog. Lift that tailbone high. Bring it all the way over, sink into the heels. And just take a couple of rounds of breath. If you need to pause, you need to have a little breather, maybe come into child's pose. Take a little sip of water, whatever you need to do. Brilliant. Again, let's come back to the top of the mat. So if you want to walk, you want to jump, you want to step, meet me at the top. Look forward on the breath in. And exhale. Breath out. Lovely. This is our last round, okay? So roll up. Stop this vertebra. Bring the arms up and over. Inhale. And again, we're going to sink into our chair, okay? So we're bringing the hands back behind us. Sinking into the heels. You're squeezing those knees together. Bringing the hips back a little bit. Lifting those arms. So you're engaging through the shoulders, keeping that core switched on, so belly button pulled back. And just see if you can come a little bit deeper into those heels. Don't be afraid to, really challenge those legs. And then let's take a fold. Come all the way back down. Soften through that forward bend. Lovely. Look forward as you breathe in. And then left leg this time. Take it back. Again, we know what we're doing, don't we? We've got our knee just above the ankle. Engage with the back leg as you come to that high lunge. Come a little bit deeper. And then take warrior two. So heel to arch lined up. Bend into that right leg. Let the arms relax. Again, loads of space between your shoulders and your ears. And the arms are pulling wide. And then take your reverse warrior. Peaceful warrior, bending through the waist. Left arm just travels down with that back leg. Wonderful. As you come back up, back through warrior. Right arm finds the thigh. Take your Parsvakonasana, so forearm up, left arm even extends over. And just as we did on the other side, if you find yourself looking down more towards the floor, use your core, use your waist to try and kind of turn those ribs. You're rotating through the waist there. It just gives you a little bit more kind of expansion, opening through that Parsvakonasana. Again, allow the breath just to slowly bring you back up. Extend that front leg, bring the palms together. And again, just wiggle that back foot in. If you've got quite a wide stance, little triangle, and you don't like having your legs quite so wide, just bring the foot in a little bit. And then extend through the right arm so that right hand goes just beyond the right foot. The hand comes down towards the shin or towards the calf, or even towards the ankle. And if that block is put as part of your prop and you like to use the block, just let your hand rest there by the ankle, the block there, just to support you. Wonderful. One more inhale. Exhale, look down towards the big toe. Inhale, lift. Bring it all the way up. Wonderful. Again, little reverse triangle. And then let's take our half moon again. So we're going to balance on the opposite leg. Right foot, okay? So taking your weight onto that right foot. Right fingertips just rest there on the floor. Take your time. Maybe the left hand is resting there on the hip. It can stay there. There's no rush. And when you're ready to lift that back leg, draw the belly in, zip up through that pelvic floor, that Mula Bandha. And then maybe that left arm is coming up. Wonderful. Take your time. No rush. Take another breath in. And then you're ready again. Soften into that standing leg. Let the left leg come down. Okay, and again, take a little reverse warrior first. And again, windmill forward. Fabulous. Step it back, find high plank. Lovely, draw the belly in, roll over those toes. Come into your upward facing dog. Wonderful, pull back. Come back into downward facing dog. Take 2 full rounds of breath here. Lovely, as you start to breathe in on the third, just start to bring the knees to the floor. Sit back into the heels. Just take a breather, come into child's pose. If the arms want to wrap around by your side, if that feels more comfortable, just soften them. Find that spot. Perfect. Let's take a couple more breaths. Just gently bringing yourself up from your child's pose. We'll tuck our toes under. Just sit back on those heels. Just stretch out the sort of fascia in the bottom of the feet. All those little sort of strands of connective tissue that just keep us in place. Just release them out. We're going to come back and pull a balance on our toes, or balance on the balls of the big toes, or balls of our feet even. And just resting the wrists over the top of the knee. Just bring the thumbs and the index fingers together. Okay, that little kind of squeeze in the lower belly. When you're ready, really slowly, keeping those heels lifted, start to bring yourself up. Gently does it. Slowly rise. Keeping the heels up all the way. And then coming up onto the balls of the feet as you lift up to stand. Lovely. Squeezing through the glutes, squeezing through the calves, squeezing through the thighs. And then slowly bring it down. Let the heels come down. Perfect. Just walk your feet out. Just very slowly, giving them a little bit of a massage. And we're going to take a tree, taking our right leg as our standing leg to start with. Our left foot just rest there on the ankle, under the knee, or above the knee. Doesn't really matter where you go, just find that spot that feels good for you. Hands at heart center. That little moment of stillness. Wonderful. Now from here, we're going to take our standing leg and just give it a little bit of a bend, softening that knee, keeping the foot flexed on that left leg, bringing the ankle just over the top of the right knee. Okay. We're going to see if we can come down. So we're kind of coming into what we call like a figure four stretch. And we're just really slowly starting to kind of ease in. So we might come down a little bit further. That might be as far as we want to go. But if you want to try and sort of challenge yourself, we're going to try and hook the back of your tricep onto the front of your foot there. Okay, so you're bringing yourself sort of all the way down. So you're sort of hooking that foot around the back of the tricep. Okay, so just have a little go if you can get there. No worries if not, just pause, reset your balance, and then bring yourself back up. Wonderful. When you're ready to come up, just slowly start to release. Ooh, take that leg, stretch it out, and just walk the heels, walk the ankles out, give them a little bit of a wriggle. And let's try it on the other side. So taking your right foot as your branch this time, left leg as your standing leg. Again, find that space, that place where you feel nicely kind of comfortable. Okay, the feet are nice and wide. Again, you've got those kind of four corners of your feet, those imaginary corners in your heel. Just do that, just stay for that stillness. And then again, just soften the left leg. Keep that right foot flexed, okay? Just resting that right foot over the top of the knee. And again, it's just a case of coming down, just trying to bend into those hips. So feeling it probably through the outer edges of your glutes, those IT bands. Again, it might be that you just stay there. You just go into that little bit of a bend. That might be enough. Or maybe even trying to hook the back of the tricep there onto the front of the foot and come down a little bit deeper. Might be accessible. Brilliant. So take one more round of breath. Fabulous. Slowly start to bring it up. Oh, how are those ankles doing? Give them a little wriggle. Give them a little bit of a shake. Perfect. Lift back up onto the balls of the feet to get that nice little rise. Okay, and then again, we're going to slowly bring it down, easing into those heels, keeping them lifted. Again, really testing the control in our core, in our quads, in our knees. Little crunch, 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 and then bring it back. Those thumbs and those index fingers together again. Wonderful. Now we're going to walk it out into a plank, okay? So bringing the hands down, just walk forward. Find your plank pose. Okay. And we're going to come down through chaturanga, which we've not done so far. Can you believe it? We're going to bend the elbows and just hover for a moment in your chaturanga. Feel those elbows squeeze in towards the core, in towards the ribs. Feel the belly pull in. And then gently release yourself all the way down onto your tummy. Good. Bring the elbows underneath the shoulders, into a sphinx. Nice little gentle back bend. And then pull back into child's pose for me. Into those heels. And just pause for a moment, just breathe. Lovely, come forward again, come back into plank. Now this time we're going to have a little play with our Vashisthasana, our side planks. So we're going to take our feet, we're going to stack them together. Now remember, you can always modify, so if you want to bring the bottom knee to the floor, you can modify here, or bring it over to the side, just keeping those legs stacked, and take that left hand towards the sky. And down. Feel those hips lift. Lovely, come back through plank. Perfect, now come into chaturanga. So this is where all those chaturangas that we've not done so far are going to come into play. Now pause, and then see if you can lift back up. Ooh, well done. Come over to the other side. So stacking it over to the left. Okay, I'm going to turn around so I haven't got my bottom to you. Right, so taking it to the other side, stacking those legs. Good, lift, lift, lift. Breathing in. And come back into plank. Fabulous. Let's do that again. Let's come down into chaturanga. Pause. And then lift back up. Wonderful. Let's go back over to the right. Okay, so we're going to do one more round. All right, so you're here, back on the side. Now this time, you can add a little bit more spice to your plank. You can maybe bring that top leg up, or you can even bring it into a tree. So you can bring the sole of the foot onto the inside of the leg, and you can come into your plank from here. But only if it feels good, okay? Only if it feels good for you. Wonderful, let's find plank again. How are we doing? Ready for chaturanga? Pause, breathe in, and then lift. Come back up. Oh, well done. Let's do it one last time. So back over to the left. You guys can do it. I have every faith. In your plank. And again, maybe that top leg lifts. Okay, maybe it comes into tree. Again, feel that belly engage, lift up through the waist. And then one last time, come back into plank. This time, come down into chaturanga. Just hover. And then relax. Woo. Come all the way down. Well done. Find those elbows underneath the shoulders. Come into your little baby sphinx, baby cobra. And then push back, find child's pose. Release out those arms. Release out those triceps. Bring the hands together into a little sort of prayer position behind your head. Elbows are just a touch into the floor. And just take a careful breath. Lovely. Walk the hands up for me. Just roll over your heels. Take the legs out in front. Lovely. So with your legs out in front of you, just moving the sit bones sort of away from you. So you've got those, the thighs away from you. Your sit bones are there. We're going to come into Paschimottanasana, which is a forward fold. So literally just lift up through the sides of the body. Make your body as long as you can, drawing the belly in, and then just hinge, fold forward. See what you can find. It might be your calves, it might be your ankles, it might be your big toes, your feet. And then just gently sort of bending the elbows. The elbows are bringing you forward as opposed to your spine bringing you down. So just easing into that forward fold. Just gently take it a little bit deeper. And then as you start to come up, bring the right foot with you. So bring the sole of the right foot onto the inside of the leg. And we're going to go back the way we came. So we're going into Janu Sirsasana. So we're going to fold, we're going to lift up, first, and then fold back down again. So you're finding that extended leg. Again, maybe finding the ankle, maybe you're finding the foot. And you're just coming back into that fold there. If you can go a little bit further, maybe just using that next exhale. Maybe you're bending the knees, bending the elbows. And if you find that you've actually got, you've got lots of give there in the elbow, you can always make a little seal kind of around, a little sort of bind around the wrist, and you can hook that over the top to take you a little bit deeper. Gently start to bring it up. Okay, take that bent knee, bring it over the top. So your sole of your right foot is then on the other side of the knee, and just bend that left leg. So you're hooking that left foot in around, so it's kind of tucking in towards your bottom. And we're going to take a twist. So we're turning towards that right leg, okay? So you're using your left arm either to hook and hold down onto that elbow, onto that knee, or you can bring it over the top, and you can use it there, a little bit more of a lever almost. Okay. Again, there can be some bind. You can maybe even hook your hand in that little gap, sort of between your of your knee, your bent knee, and that right hand can maybe hook around. Is it there? And find that hand. You can take a bind if it's in your practice. Maybe some days you feel more twisty than others, don't you? Lovely. Let's take a counter twist. So just release it there. Open it up the other way. Just enjoy that feeling of space. Wonderful. Take the legs out in front of you. Just give them a little bit of a shake. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to come into a boat pose. So we're going to squeeze our knees together. Come back onto those sit bones. So you're just hovering just off the back of the sit bones, between your sit bones and your tail. You're using that core. Again, you've got that heart lifted, those ribs, those collars. We're just going to rock back, massage the spine, rock all the way back, and land the feet on the floor. So you're going to take a little baby bridge. Your feet are just sort of touching distance from your fingertips. And we're going to lift, releasing out the front of the body. Just enjoying that nice little bit of space. After being bent forward, folding forward, using our core, we just want to lift up and release up those muscles. Wonderful. Take one more inhale as you lift up. And then as you exhale, slowly roll down. Draw the knees in. Give yourself that little hug. And we're going to rock forward and backwards. Bring ourselves back up to sitting. And again, take those legs out long. Bring them out in front of you. Just wiggling those sit bones out from underneath the side. And again, we're coming back into Paschimottanasana, so the belly is drawn in. Find space up through the sides of the body, first of all, breathing in. And then exhale, falling forward. Again, finding the ankles, the feet, the toes, whatever's within reach. Just enjoy that fold. Maybe you can feel yourself coming a little bit further forward. Maybe it's deeper this time. Wonderful. One last breath in. Exhale, start to slowly come up. And as you do, this time the left leg is coming with you, okay? So take the sole of the left foot onto the inside of the thigh. And again, exactly the same again, long through the waist. Hinge it forward, finding that ankle, finding that foot, and then coming forward. And again, if there is a bit more space, with elbows are bent, and you want to go further, find the wrist, so taking a hold of the wrist, just hook it over the top there. Listening to our floor work. Such a nice contrast, isn't it, to the movement and the pace of your vinyasa, which you can happen Ashtanga vinyasa. And then easing it up really slowly. Again, this time picking up that left foot. Okay, take it over the top of the right leg. And again, you're going to bend that right knee and hook the heel up in towards your bottom. Okay, and again, we're taking that bind, so we're twisting towards that knee. So the right arm can either hug it You twist here. And this is quite a nice open twist, so you get a little bit more, more space for your core, more in the shoulders. But if you want to make it deeper, then you just need to hook that elbow over the top. And again, you're sort of looking over the shoulder there. Okay. And again, if you want to try, hook it in. There it is. That line. A little bit deeper there. Okay, lovely. Take another breath in. And as we exhale, open it up. Just take that little counter twist. Nice and soft. But opening up, making that space again. Okay. And then again, as we unhook those legs, just find your boat pose again, okay? So squeezing those knees together, a little bit of a tuck of the belly, tuck of the core, lift those feet. And again, if you want to take it a little bit higher this time, maybe even extend those toes towards the ceiling, keeping the chest lifted, strong through those legs. Give that little smile to the face. Breathe in. And then breathe out, bring the knees in, roll back, massage out the spine. And then just let the heels come down to the floor when you're ready. Again, we're going to take another bow, another bridge pose. So you've got the option, you can keep it here where we were. Maybe even tuck the shoulder blades together. Take a hold of the hands, so kind of making those little fists underneath your tail. Gives you a little bit more height. Or if you want to take a full wheel, that can be in your practice. You're just tucking the hands in by your shoulders. Okay. You can touch down with the crown of the head, just lifting up and then pushing through the hands, and you lift up into your full wheel. So using that upper body, squeezing through your glutes as you come up. So entirely up to you. When you come down, you tuck the tail, you tuck the chin in towards the chest to protect the neck, and then you can roll all the way down through the spine when you're ready to do so. Lovely. When you're ready, start to roll everything back down. And then just bring the knees in. Give yourself a little hug, a little squeeze. And then take a nice gentle twist. So keep the arms open. Keep the knees as they are. The legs are sort of tucked together. And just let them roll over towards the right. Keeping the left shoulder blade on the floor if you can. Just look down the left arm, so you're turning away from the knees, just enjoying that lovely twist. Wonderful. Bring the knees back through center. Take them all the way over to the other side, so they're dropping to the left. And then again, look down your right arm, so you're looking the opposite way. When you're ready to come back through center, just gently bring the knees out. Take a hold of each kneecap and just circle the knees away from each other. Okay, you can take a happy baby pose. Just bring the elbows onto the inside of the knees. Take a hold of the feet. And you're sort of pressing the feet up towards the sky. And you're sort of pressing your spine down towards the floor. So it kind of gives a really nice release to that lower back. You can extend the legs. You can extend one leg at a time. Maybe extend both legs at a time. If you want to bind the big toe, that makes it a bit easier to extend both legs. We're going to slowly start to bring ourselves back into our Shavasana. So with the feet coming down to the floor, just extend one leg away and then the other. You just turn the palms to face up towards the sky, back to where we started. Now it's drawing our focus to our surroundings. What we can hear, what we can smell, what we can feel. And again, if the mind is still a little bit busy, just letting those thoughts pass without judgment. Not berating ourselves for our inability to keep our mind still. It's a really difficult thing to do. Just accepting what's coming in and out, like the waves on the shore. As those thoughts leave, they take away things that you don't no longer need. And anything that comes back in, you take from that what might serve you going forward. Draw your focus to the speed of your breath, the pace, the urgency. And hopefully that breath is just simply slipping in and out of the body. No resistance, no effort. Rise and fall of the chest and the ribs and the stomach. Just a nice wave-like rippling effect. Each part of the diaphragm, the chest, the ribs, the collarbones, the throat, the mouth, the nose, taking part in equal measures. Tuning into our ability to rest, to recover, to nourish, to revitalize. If you want to stay in your Shavasana for longer, you just simply pause, stop where you are, turn me off, enjoy a few more minutes of quiet. If you're ready to come out, and just simply wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Start to deepen your breath, and a little bit more pace, a little bit more depth to it. Bringing the knees in, just hug yourself into a little ball and roll to the right side. Use your right arm as a little bolster for your head just for a moment. So you're in that sort of fetal position. And just collect your thoughts. Like I said, leave it behind anything that's no longer serving you. And just take with you what you need. We're going to push ourselves back up to sitting. And just find that comfortable cross-leg position. And just draw the hands into heart center. Press the thumb and the index finger together, just feeling that little bit of kind of balance, that equality between the right and the left. That logical left and that creative right. Together, let's seal our practice by bowing together. Namaste. Thank you.
Thanks, Lily. Thank you. Thank you very much for doing it.
Lovely to see you all.
Yes. Oh, Penny, you know the PayPal link that you sent through